We're looking at practice clips from minicamp and OTAs. Today we're looking at the Raiders, and we're getting a good look at Geno Smith. We're going to watch him throw the rock around, work through some drills and everything else. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're looking at training camp here soon. It's right around the corner. Here you're going to see clips of your rookies, quarterback battles. Guys are getting ready to draft in fantasy football. So if you want to see what your players are doing behind the scenes, click that button. Stop missing out. Today we're looking at Geno Smith. We got about 6 minutes of clips here. We're going to talk about him, Ashton Jeanty, the Raiders, Jacoby Myers, Jack Betch. A lot of peripherals on this team. We're going to talk about training camp, all while looking at his clips right now. We've looked at him before, but it's mid-July, nothing else to do, and some of you guys have not seen it yet. Ashton Jeanty downfield. What I believe in Geno Smith, he's going to be a good facilitator of the football here. And this offense is built different. It's built different. I mean, Ashton Jeanty, you got a big-time running back in the first round. We're going to see if he can live up to that upside real quick. Real quick. But you got Brock Bowers. You also got Michael Mayer. You also got some good talent at the tight end spot on both sides. And Jacoby Myers, underrated wide receiver in the league. When it comes to getting volume, creating separation. But Ashton Jeanty, this team's going to fuel through him. It's going to run right through him. And Brock Bowers, build at the running back spot, build at the tight end spot. And Geno Smith, we know he's not Tom Brady. We know he's not Patrick Mahomes. We know he's not one of those guys. We're not looking at Dan Marino here. We know this. But you're also looking at a good facilitator of the football. You're looking at a guy that can spread it around, that can keep the offense going, that has some experience with this coaching staff. That's what you're looking at here. A team that was in quarterback purgatory for a little bit. Now they got a veteran quarterback here that turned it on with the Seattle Seahawks. Now is looking to turn things back on with the Raiders. And they got some talent here. Brock Bowers, I believe, is one of the better tight ends you'll ever see come out. And that's going to be your main receiving threat. He was so good last year as a rookie. And we saw this at Georgia. We saw this as a freshman at Georgia. He's one of the few tight end prospects that after their freshman season, you felt like you're waiting years for him to come out. And you knew he was a big-time recruit coming out of high school. From wire to wire, he's just been going strong. But the Ashton Jeanty effect here. Ashton Jeanty taking a full workload. They drafted him to do so. Showed that at Boise State. He can catch balls downfield. He's good in the passing game. Go look at his high school film. You're seeing him catch balls downfield. I get it, it's just high school. But still, this is a running back prospect that has good vision. That's good in space. That can make guys miss, but yet run through them. Short, compact, and got it done at Boise State. Had a historic season last year. It's going to fit the mold of this offense. His vision is impeccable. His balance and footwork, his ability to keep balance while getting hits, while spinning out in the open field, and keep trucking upfield. That is what you're getting. You're getting one of the few generational prospects in this draft. And it was at the running back position where, economic-wise, with how deep this running back class was a huge question mark for a lot of teams. A lot of people question how high he should go. But a running back like this, that put up those types of numbers, and what you're seeing on tape, just goes high in the first round. But this is the deepest, most talented running back class of all time. So you could make the case they could have won another running back in a different draft slot. They could have did that. But what they're getting here is a guy with a good approach to line of scrimmage, good vision, good contact balance, good wiggle. A running back prospect here that's going to be on this team for a long time. As long as he doesn't fall off or something unforeseen happens, he's going to be on this team for a long time, toting the rock. And you have Geno Smith here, who is going to be on this team. He's going to be moving the football. He is a guy that can run an offense and be better than expected. We already saw that in Seattle. Everybody already counted him for dead in Seattle. He had that one interview after the game, talking about how he worked himself back up. We saw him with DK Metcalf. We saw him with talent over there. Now we can see what he's doing with Brock Bowers and company. That's what I like about Geno Smith. He's going to protect the football. He's got some assets to work with here on the Raiders. This Raiders team is built different. They're built studly at tight end and at running back with young upside prospects here that are developing together. And now you're looking at Jack Betch, who I haven't talked about yet, but I believe he's going to be better than expected. I believe he's going to have a good role on this team. They're going to use him in the slot. That's what we're hearing at auto practice, that they're using him as like a bigger slot. But he's a very dependable wide receiver. And this offense, when you look at the wide receiver depth chart, it can be very ambiguous. And you're looking at the young rookie here drafted in the second round. There's potential with him. He killed at the Senior Bowl. He killed it there in the practices and in the game. And he's a guy that can be reliable downfield, but yet short to intermediate can create that separation as well. He's just an overall gritty lunch pail wide receiver, which is something you don't see these days. I believe he's going to have a good role on this team. When you look at this for fantasy football, he's going to be out there running a lot of routes, and he's going to get his time in the sun where he's getting a lot of targets. That could be wide receiver 2-ish, 3-ish, maybe even having some moments where he's giving you some top-level production here and there. I think they're going to keep bringing in talents. I believe somewhere down the line, they'll bring in another wide receiver. They'll keep adding talent to this team as they're retooling with this new coaching staff. But that was a big add with Ashton Jeanty in the draft. That was a big add. That was a huge one. You're talking about Thornton, too. Thornton, too, has been looking good from what I'm hearing. Thornton's been killing it. So that's another wide receiver we're paying attention to during training camp. I'm not sleeping on him. I'm not, but he's been looking good from what I'm hearing, from what I'm reading. Training camp's going to be fun. So what I'm expecting to see from this team in training camp is Geno Smith just take the bull by the horns. That's going to happen. That's going to happen easily. We're going to see that in the joint practices. Ashton Jeanty, when the pads start popping, that's when you're really going to get excited about him. I believe they're going to have a highlight clip of Ashton Jeanty probably week 2 or 3 of training camp, and it's going to be slow-mo. It's going to be by the Raiders. I'm going to do a review of the video, and he's going to make somebody miss. You're going to see him move laterally, and it's going to get Raiders fans jazzed up. I believe that's going to happen. You're going to catch that weeks 2 or 3 or so, training camp. You're going to get that, and it's going to look good, and it's going to get you excited. I think people are going to sleep on Geno Smith a little bit, but I'm not going to say he's going to get top-tier production, but I think he's going to be very, very good for this team. I think we're in a tough division. This is a very tough division defensively. Broncos, Chiefs, those are 2 tough defenses where you're going to have to fight in those matchups. So you're going to have at least 4 of those. You got the Chargers in your division who's looking to run the ball a lot. They drafted a running back in the first round, picked up another running back, and it's Harbaugh. You know what Harbaughs do. We saw what he did in Michigan. They want to run the football. They tried that out last year. Running backs got banged up. They tried to have J.K. Dobbins lead the charge. That did not work. So it's an interesting division here. And all you got to do is keep stacking days, keep stacking games, and moving the football and not turn it over. That's what you got here with Geno Smith. You have some young assets on this team. Like Brock Bowers already took a step forward, but he could get better. That's the thing about this. He's young in his career. He's progressing. Ashton Jenty's getting a feel of the game. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a little ramp-up period. I expect him to turn on sooner than later. I expect him to earn opportunities sooner than later. I expect him to be locked and loaded. And the big debate is, in fantasy, are you spending that first-round pick on Ashton Jeanty, or are you going after one of those proven assets that can give you the same production at wide receiver, at running back, that has the same potential? That is the big question. But if he takes the league by storm, I guess the potential would be a little different, as in he's fresher, as in it'd be more impactful, as in he could be all-world. He could give you that Saquon Barkley season. He already did it at Boise State last year. I'm not saying it is or will or won't or will not or whatever. I'm just saying it's in the realm of possibilities. But what we saw with other top picks at running back, there was a little ramp-up period. The ramp-up period looks good compared to other young running backs. Like, there's not going to be a weight behind the starter or anything like that. He's not going to be sharing too much of the workload or anything like that. He'll be getting opportunities. Like, the ramp-up period ain't going to be that grand thing, but there's more than likely going to be a ramp-up period. We're seeing that with those top flight running backs still. That there's a little ramp up period, then all of a sudden, bam, bam, they're all of a sudden one of the top running backs in the league. All of a sudden, it like sneaks up on you. A lot of times it's the second year, but it could be like week 6, Halloween time, Thanksgiving time. It could be September. Like, that's what you're getting, that rocket ship of a running back that could just go nuclear at any moment. If he goes nuclear and Geno Smith's holding up like he did in Seattle, Brock Bowers, he might be in line a little bit more. It will look different with him this year, different coaching staff, but still, he's still Brock Bowers. We saw that at Georgia. He's still Brock Bowers. This could be a dangerous team. This could be a very dangerous team. Like, if Ashton Jeanty looks somewhat like he did at Boise State, and he's got like some weird Bo Jackson status to him that a lot of people are being very conservative thinking about, which is there. It's happened. This team could go nuclear. It could be a scary team. You're talking about a running back that might not be able to be stopped if he hits that upside. I'm not saying will that happen. I'm saying if he hits that upside early, and then you got Brock Bowers even just being the same as last year, and Geno Smith just facilitating the rock, not turning it over. This Raiders team is going to be fascinating here. Like, I know the easy thing to say is say, hey, and be negative about it, be negative about this team compared to what you saw last year and everything else. But it's easy to look at the downside of things. It's easy to look at the downside of things. How can every team in the league exceed expectations? Because there will be a couple teams every season that exceed expectations, that climb the ranks. It's like this. A few weeks into the year, everybody's just going to recognize them as one of the top teams in the league or one of the up-and-coming teams, and that's it. And the reason why you do this is identify which team can be the surprise team. Because if we know that's the surprise team, then they're not a surprise team. The Raiders can surprise you with Jeanty, Geno Smith controlling the football, spreading it around. Jakobi Meyers is solid. Brock Bowers is a hell of a talent. This team's built differently, like at tight end, running back, RPO. That would be nasty. There's a lot of nasty options. Thornton being dangerous. Like, there's a lot of different options on this team that could hurt you. That could hurt you. You got a weird division here. You got Bo Nix. What if Bo Nix doesn't take a step forward with the Denver Broncos? What if he reverts back? Some of these year 2 quarterbacks do that. What if that happens? They got tough defense. I know I talk glowingly on these players, but I also talk about the downside. Just people concentrate on what they want to concentrate on what I'm talking about. But what if that happens? What if the Chargers, like, they get in some dog fights with the Raiders and the Raiders just come out on top? What if the Raiders figure it out against that Chiefs defense, considering they're built a little different? Like, there's not many teams that are studly at tight end and that could be potentially studly at running back. There's not many stud tight ends in the league, like a Brock Bowers in the passing game. There's not many teams built like this. And Geno Smith out here facilitating the rock. So the what-if status is that we're looking at a team that's built a little bit different, that has high-end young pieces here that could ascend. And if that ascension happens and we control the ball and not make mistakes and come out on top of some of these tough matchups in our division, that could be it. That could be it. They could be a sneaky team. We're looking at some of these sneaky teams, and we're talking about the what-ifs, too, in training camp, because there's going to be a couple of these teams that exceed expectations. It happens every year. Could this be one of them? We're going to have to find out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.